Get some video shot about this new opportunity in East Tennessee, this marina that's on Norris Lake. I'm really excited about this. I have a lot of friends that are going to be helping me raise for this. So we're all in it together. We're doing our due diligence together. We are looking at this strongly because it's just absolutely a really neat asset being bought at a good price. If you know much about cap rates, whenever you buy something above a 10 cap, that's unheard of. This is being bought north of 10 cap, and the group that is selling it has already had an offer on another deal on the same lake that would have been a 7 cap. So I don't have time to explain what that means, but that's really good. That means a lower cap rate. The cap rates are being compressed. That means 5 years from now, when more and more people are looking for assets like this, we'll be able to sell it for a higher multiple, if you understand kind of what that means. So it's super exciting. I want to bring this to you guys. I had to redo this video because being local, I'm not allowed to share the name of the marina with you. You're going to probably know the marina when I show it to you, so I'm not that concerned about it, but they just don't want me using the name because it is under contract. They don't want a lot of local people asking questions about it. But what I want to do is share what I have with you, and we're going to take about 15 minutes to go through this. I've got a call I've got to jump on here at the top of the hour. So let's look at, let's see if I can get it figured out. Here we go. So it's called NH Marinas Fund One. It's not really a fund. It's a single asset fund. So you're investing in one single asset that's on Norris Lake, a very well-known marina that is 100% occupied and full, has a huge waiting list for more slips, and has the ability to expand. Already TVA has granted them the ability to expand. So here's the mission of NH Marinas. New Haven Marinas is a group out of Texas. I've been talking with them about joining with them to help them raise for this. I told them that I'm local here in East Tennessee, and this is an asset that most of my investors would know about. So their mission is just to go out and find different assets. And let me tell you, this is something you don't see very often. We see apartment buildings, self-storage facilities, mobile home parks. You see these things. Marinas are the next new horizon. So they're out there looking for alternatives, and they think they found it in marinas. Most marinas are owned by mom and pops. The biggest conglomerate marina owner only has like 2%. The other 98% is owned by mom and pops. So that's a huge opportunity to go in and be able to get these things and manage them better, and increase their operating income and make them more valuable. Here's the management team. I'm not going to go much into this. Like I say, I'm talking with Angela. She's their director of investor relations. What we're trying to do is get the best terms we can get for our group by investing together. And I've been talking with Angela. I have actually call with her in about an hour. And these other guys have a lot of experience across different industries. They own 2 marinas on this same lake. And that's what's exciting to me is they've got a proven concept. They've already proven it on the other 2. Their investors have received, I think it's 6 quarterly dividend checks. So for the last year and a half, they've not missed a beat on paying their investors their pref returns. And in today's time, preferred returns don't always get paid. They mostly accumulate until the asset is sold. This group is actually paying their pref returns quarterly, which is nice. So just so you know, if something has an 8% preferred rate of return and you invest $100,000, you're going to receive 4 quarterly checks of $2,000. If you stay in that investment 5 years, obviously you're going to receive 20 of those checks, and you're going to receive cash flow like that. Then when the asset sells, you receive your portion of the gain. So they've got a lot on here about marinas, and what's really neat, and marinas have a lot of revenue streams. I'm not going to go into this in detail much, but they have obviously their boat slips. They have restaurants and bars. They sell alcohol. Some have RV parks. They sell gasoline. They actually rent boats and have boat clubs. They have short-term rentals on the shore and on the water. They have stores that sell just like a camp store would sell things. They obviously rent boats, and they do repairs and maintenance. So again, this is just marina cap rates, where they're at compared to self-storage and multifamily. You can see they're right there at 10. which is really, really good. That means you're buying right, and that's what we've got to do. Um, I'm trying to raise at least $500,000 so we can enjoy some higher pref rates of return, and then I'll pass as much of that through to investors as possible. Probably going to be around an 8% pref rate for most investors. Those who can invest a little bit more, we may be able to get up to a 9% pref rate. So that's what this fund is doing. Again, they're out there sourcing deals. They're using a CPA who is in the marina world, and he's doing taxes for a lot of these marina owners. And guess what? He's one of the first ones to know when they're ready to sell. So that's how they source their deals. They're not going through brokers. They are going directly to the owners, and that's how they're getting great asset prices. This is their team. Again, more about that. We will do a webinar here in the future with them where you'll be able to ask questions, do anything you want with that. Again, they won't let me talk about which marina this is, but if you're local to East Tennessee, you might know from this picture here which one this is. They also have a backup marina, another one they're working on in Texas, but this target property is here in East Tennessee on Norris Lake, and it is under contract, and they're wanting to close the transaction by the end of March. Again, there's some pictures. You probably can kind of figure out which one that is. This marina actually has 7 streams of income, and we have them listed here. The boat slip fees are only about half of the income. The gas is $585,000. The store sales are $142,000. Restaurant $470,000, and they do have plans to expand their restaurant offerings. Rentals, RV park, and short-term rentals there. So here's the pro forma. They are being ultra conservative, y'all, and that's what excites me about this. They feel like, well, first of all, they've got it under contract at 2022 rates. So the owner has already started raising boat slip rental prices, but the owner is not raising the price to us as the investors. So we're going to be buying it at 2022 numbers, even though the owner has increased rents. That typically means the owner has the right to increase the price, but he's not doing that. And if you'll see here projections and assumptions, a 9 cap would be very conservative exit. An 8 and a 7 would be the most, and it could get better than that. But let's just say the low side, if they do nothing right, if they just kind of buy it and cruise along, you're looking at a rate of return around 25%. That's an equity multiple of 2.79. That means if you put in 100,000 in that, I think it's a 5 to 7 year term. In that term, you could expect to at least double, if not triple, your money. And if they can get a cap rate of 8, which means it's compressing further down, and you get these by selling to private investment groups or private equity groups that come off of Wall Street. And if they are successful and they put 8 or 10 of these into a fund or into a package, they'll probably be able to get these lower cap rates. Okay. And so at that, you're looking at well over a 30% rate of return. And if they go nuts and go bonkers and get a 7 cap, you're looking at over 40% internal rate of return, which will quadruple your money. And nothing's guaranteed, but these are really, really good rates of return. And just buying it and running it, they're going to get their money back. It's not a lot of moving parts here. It's just one of these assets that has so many different avenues of cash flow that it's crazy. So, that's the thing with me. This is a fund, the minimum to get the highest rates of return. Those minimums are $50,000 or $500,000. So I'm trying to raise at least $500,000. And that way my fund can make a little bit of money and I can pass a lot of improved economics on to the investors. So minimum for my fund would be a $50,000 investment. That would probably get you an 8 pref. I think a $200,000 investment is going to get a 9 pref. And we're trying to get to that $500,000 point. So if this is at all interesting to you, share this with other people, especially if you live in East Tennessee. I'm sorry, but you do have to be an accredited investor. So you need to check with your accountant. If you're not sure what that is, Google it. You have to check with your accountant, and I will have to verify that. You can't just kind of sneak in the back door. You have to be an accredited investor, unfortunately, to participate in this investment. But this is such an exciting deal that I can't let this one go by. It's in my backyard. I've got lots of friends that are doing it as well, and other fund managers like me who are doing it. I have fund managers who have invested in the previous two deals, and they are saying they were receiving checks like clockwork. We got a lot of intelligence, a lot of information that you don't always have when you invest in something like this. So we've got previous track record people I know that have invested with them. We've checked them out. We're background checking everybody, everything we can do to take away and mitigate the risk. You'll hear me talk about mitigate risk. Everybody else tells you it's too risky, but if you can go in and figure out how to mitigate risk, you can make unbelievable returns. You can blow Wall Street away, and you can grow this in your self-directed IRA or any other way you want to invest. I'd be happy to talk to you about how to do that. And if this is of any interest to you, please comment below, reach out to me, direct message, and I'll be getting a date on the calendar for us to do a webinar. We'll bring the sponsor group on, the sponsor representative, and they'll be able to answer questions and go through the deal again. And it's just really exciting. That's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to bring you guys deals. I'm investing in this, and if I'm in it, I want you to feel comfortable about joining me in it as well. So really excited. Reach out to me if you have any interest in this. Hope you guys have a great